Inside cruise cabins are definitely small and compact, but with a little bit of planning and organization, they can feel as comfortable and maybe even more organized than home. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. You know what they say, the more space you have, the more that you fill it up. So maybe that is one of the good things about inside cruise cabins. There isn't a lot of space. So as long as you don't take much more than you need, I know it's a little easier said than done, but you actually will be okay. In this video, I'm going to share with you the cruise tips and organization hacks that will actually transform your inside cruise cabin. Now, just something to mention, I have been on, I think it's 28 or 29 cruises now, and 18 of them have been in inside cruise cabins. So I definitely have some experience, even with kids in inside cabins, and I'm going to share my tips with you. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one, so to start with something that isn't always obvious, you can actually have some of the furniture removed from your cabin. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, sometimes what happens is in those cabins, they will put maybe a small coffee table in your cabin. And honestly, there isn't a lot of room. And oftentimes what we found is that coffee table just ended up being in the way. So something that you can do to actually add some space to your cruise cabin is ask your cabin attendant on the very first day of your cruise to actually remove that small coffee table if it is in there. And other things that you can also ask them to remove is like a wine bucket. If you don't think you're going to be putting wine inside the wine bucket, you do have a mini fridge so you can put your wine there. Ask them to remove that, and maybe a couple of wine glasses if you see that there. Anything that you just think, oh, we're not going to end up using this, ask them to remove it so that you create some extra space. Number two, unpacking and getting organized. So honestly, this is going to make everything just so much better if you can unpack and get organized as soon as you can on your cruise. Now, as you unpack your items, one of my favorite tips is that you should take your luggage and actually store it under the bed. So there's no reason to actually keep your luggage or suitcases next to the bed. You're not going to have any room to walk. That instead can be stored under the bed. And you could even usually put like one piece of luggage into the other. If it doesn't seem like the luggage is going to fit, just try lifting up that box spring a little. I've never seen any luggage not fit, and I honestly have a very large suitcase. As you unpack and as you get organized, something that you're going to want to do is just make sure that you're using your space really efficiently. So take a look next to the bed. You will usually have end tables, and you might have one drawer and a couple of shelves. So something that we've been doing lately, recent cruises at least, is that we've actually been using packing cubes, keeping some items inside our packing cubes, and then just putting that right onto the shelf. And it kind of makes almost like a drawer, but it's even better because we don't even have to unpack that. So it can be your bathing suits, it can be your underwear and sleepwear, basically anything that you might have in that packing cube, use those shelves to store it. Now, you'll also have shelves that are usually in the closet area, so use those shelves as well. And you definitely can unpack your items from the packing cubes, but you can keep your items in the packing cubes, and honestly, it is going to make packing up easier at the end of your cruise. Now, something that we did recently is I actually purchased packing cube sets in different colors so that every member of our family has their own set. So much easier, much more organized, and especially in inside cabins where you may want to keep one packing cube on top of another packing cube with shorts or t-shirts just right in the packing cube. That could be really, really handy and convenient. Now, cruise cabins, even inside cabins, are notorious for having these little nooks and crannies and storage spaces and shelves. So one of those places is usually the closet. Oftentimes there will be a thin shelf on the top of the closet, and you can put items there. So handbags, even shoes. If you don't want to make that area dirty, if you're a little bit concerned about it, you can always lay a towel down under your shoes. Now, one of my favorite cruise cabin hacks are using magnet hooks. Now, magnet hooks, just to let you know, they work on cruise cabin walls because cruise cabin walls, on the most part, they are metal. And this way you can add extra storage space, keep those hats, those backpacks, sweaters, lanyards, all of those different things, you can keep them off the surfaces of your cabin, off the floor, keep it more organized by basically setting up a storage or organization system right on your cabin wall. Now, just something to mention, the magnet hooks and any of the different items that I will talk about in this video, they will be linked down below in the description of this video. Now, something else that really is amazing to organize your cabin, and especially for inside cabins, is the over the door organizer. And what you can do is you can actually store your sunscreen, your aloe vera, hairbrushes, shampoo, just tons of different things that you are going to need on your cruise. You can keep it all in the over the door organizer, and then you can use your magnet hooks to hang that on the ceiling or on the wall, or you can hang this over the bathroom door. Now, something else to keep organized, and again, this is all in a quest to minimize the clutter in your cabin, is these magnet clips. Now, these are really, really simple, but I use these because what you can do is you'll have your shore excursion tickets, other important papers that you want to keep. You can keep them all on your cabin wall with these magnet clips. Now, one of the negative points about inside cruise cabins is the fact that they are very dark. Now, of course, they are really good for sleeping, so that is a good thing. But the bad point is it can be really hard to know what time of day it is. Is it morning? Is it night? So there are a couple of things that can help. So one of them is a travel alarm clock. I'm going to show it to you. This is something that we bring just because we find it handy. It's just a digital alarm clock. And this way at nighttime, in the middle of the night, I can see what time it is. So a lot of people like to bring this. And another item that I think is really just brilliant, it's kind of a newer item, but it is that sunrise alarm clock. So if you want to wake up more naturally, if you want to wake up just like the sunshine is shining right into your cabin, then you may want to get a sunrise alarm clock. Now, by the way, if you are interested in a cruise essentials list, as well as cruise packing list, planning forms, and more, I do have all of that as part of the Ultimate Cruise Planner. Now, the Ultimate Cruise Planner is a 47-page downloadable printable cruise planner that you can use to plan your cruise from the moment that you book your cruise all the way through disembarkation. And you can print out the forms you need for as many cruises as you do go on. Now, if you are interested in taking a look at the Ultimate Cruise Planner and what's included, I will leave all the information linked down below in the description of this video. The bed configuration. So which is better? Is it beds together, beds apart, and what can you do about it? So just something to note is if the beds are together, you can ask the cabin attendant to have them separated. If they are separated, you can ask for the beds to be put together. And a little tip, if they are put together, you can ask for sort of a covering or an egg crate to go over the two beds so that you don't feel that crack right in the middle of the beds. Personally, I don't like that. But in any case, so what is better? Well, if you have them together, you will have space to walk on either side of the bed. Personally, I find that just fine, but you may prefer to have them apart and you will have a larger space, well, because you have, of course, the space that you'd have at the side right in the middle. But I do have a tip. If you have kids and they're above the beds in Pullman beds, ask your cabin attendant to close that daily, to tuck that back into the ceiling or back into the walls, because otherwise what happens is it is going to feel cramped in your inside cabin. Likewise, if you have like a small sofa bed instead for a third or a fourth person, oftentimes the cabin attendants, they'd prefer to leave that out. It's a little bit less work for them, but honestly, it makes for a less comfortable cabin. So I would suggest just ask them that you do really want that to be put away each day. Turn the desk into a vanity. Now, ladies, something that you should know is the bathrooms in your cabin are going to be very, very small, and you're going to be 2 or maybe 3 people sharing the bathroom. So it is good to have a space all your own to do your hair, do your makeup, that kind of thing. So what I like to do is use a drawer and make sure that I put my makeup in there. Just put your makeup bag in there, or if you're keeping your items in a packing cube, put that in there. Put any of your hair items like your curling iron, travel hair dryer, anything like that, put that all in there and use that space to do your own makeup. Now, you may even want to bring your own travel mirror. I know nowadays a lot of people are doing that because they find that they really like that lighting from those travel mirrors. So that's definitely an option if you do want to bring that, but definitely use that desk. The hanging toiletry bag. The hanging toiletry bag is absolutely genius. I use it on cruises. I use it for any type of trip. It really is amazing. So you can hang that on your hook on the bathroom door, or even better, the last cruise that we were on, I put one of my magnet hooks right on the bathroom wall and I was able to hang my toiletry bag there. Speaking of bathrooms, they are small, they are compact. Bring along some Poopery bathroom spray. You will not regret it. Bring along a cruise approved power bar. And basically this is a non-surge protected power bar. You want to make sure that you have enough electric outlets for your needs, and as well that you have enough USBs. Unfortunately, cruise cabins, most of them just don't have enough electric outlets, and only the newer cruise ships seem to actually have those USB outlets. Now, just something to mention, you cannot bring the same power bar that you might have at home or that you might pick up like in a dollar store. It does need to be non-surge protected, otherwise it will be confiscated. Something else that is really great to keep organized and really so inexpensive are folding boxes. So you can bring a folding box. You can find these at the dollar store, and you can bring a folding box to keep your flip-flops or your shoes, but you can even find small ones, and you may even want to bring one or two of them to keep the items that you have like on your night table or even on a bathroom shelf. Use your safe to store your valuables. So make sure that you put your passport, your money, your car keys, jewelry, any of the items that are valuable. Now, something that I also like to do just to make even the cabin safe space even more efficient is I just take one of the drinking glasses that's usually there in the cabin, and I put that right into the safe, and that's where I put my everyday jewelry. So if I went out in the evening time and I put on my rings and my earrings and things like that, I'll put them right into the safe in that drinking glass, well, when I get back, I guess. And this way, when we go to the pool or whatever the next day, I don't even have to think about it. I don't wear my rings when I go to the pool. So this way, when I come back later on, get showered, ready for dinner, I just go right into my safe and get those items. Now, I mentioned the sunrise alarm clock a little bit earlier in this video, but I did forget to mention that there are some other things that you can do if you just need a little bit of light during the night. So there's a motion sensor night light. That is phenomenal. We have really been using it. Other people say that they like to bring like a battery powered tea light from the dollar store. So that's definitely something that you can do as well. Oh, and you can always use this little trick as well, which you can turn on the cabin TV and you could turn it to the channel, which is like the bridge camera. And then oftentimes that will just be set to like the front of the ship so you can actually see the sea, that kind of thing. So you will actually see as the sun comes up, your cabin will become lighter as well. Now you probably want a place for your dirty laundry as well. So you could use a pop-up hamper like this. You could use a mesh hamper, or you could even store your dirty laundry right under the bed in your suitcase. Now, I do suggest that you bring a bag and maybe a dryer sheet, something to maybe have a fresher smell, but that is a tip that some people use as well. Now, I'm going to leave the information all about the Ultimate Cruise Planner linked down below in the description of this video in case you do want to check that out. And as well, I will leave the links for all of the items that I did talk about in this video. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are some of the tips and tricks that you use to keep organized, especially in an inside cabin and more comfortable? Please let me know down below in the comments of this video. Now, I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.